Alright, we're back on the Quadrasteer. So this is the front. We got the drain welded into the oil pan. Took the oil pan off, new gasket, new pickup tube, O-ring, all that good stuff. And welded a dash 10 bung to the pan. So then it just goes up here into the bottom of the turbo over there. There's the radiator hoses and everything for the Duramax radiator. And then here's our oil feed. So this is just the stock piece. You drill it and tap it 1/8 inch to -4, and then that's the feed that came with the kit. This is a taller filter, 61. I think it's a 61. Yeah, PS61. They're a little bit taller than the one it calls for. This being said, when you go to the Duramax radiator, it doesn't have an oil cooler. So I had to remove the lines and everything, and then just put this on there for my feed for the turbo. This is our crossover. So stock manifold over here, crossover, goes up into the log at that 2.5 inch V-band. We've got our VS 44 or 45, whatever it is, wastegate, and got a screamer tube on it. If that's too loud, then I'm gonna reclock this and run this under the pan and then tie it into our downpipe. We got our O2 bung in right here for the wideband. This is a 3-inch downpipe coming down. We used the factory hanger on the side of the transmission. I did have to cut it right here because it was interfering with the pipe. So, before it held up 2 pipes, so I cut it in half. Got a hanger here, slip joint. I'm gonna put a slip clamp on there to seal it up. And then I put a couple tack welds just so it doesn't fall off. Because the strap clamps, I've had them come apart before, so I just always put a couple tacks to hold them together. So then that way I can zip these off with the cutoff wheel, and then the whole downpipe will come out if need be. Then it comes back. So this is actually the stock piece right here. It had the right contour to come up and over the torsion bar mount, and it also is flanged right here. We put this Y connection on there. This is actually off of the Denali, so it fit perfect going right here, and then tying these two back in together. So I think it turned out pretty good, and then it's easily removable. You can see. So I can't wait to see how it sounds, and I think it turned out pretty good. Then we'll come to the back and take a look at the Quadrasteer, what makes this truck unique. So here's the Quadrasteer part of the truck. Now this is the motor that turns the rack, and then this is the position sensor up in here, which apparently is bad on this one because you ohm out this has 4 pins, and you ohm them out, and none of them are getting the right ohm reading. So Goodman or Good, something like that, they sell the replacement sensor. It's $500, and it uses a magnet somehow. This one is similar to a TPS sensor, where it has that path and the metal sweeps on it, and then it changes the ohm reading as you go from 0% to 100% throttle. So I'm hoping I can get this fixed, because I really would like to see how it works. The guy said it really had a great turning radius, when it was working. So hopefully that's all it is. Based on the codes I'm getting, that seems to be it. Now we come to the top side. We got our computer sitting here because it won't fit down in that location with the Duramax intercooler and radiator. We got our our cold side coming up here. I got to put the inlet air temp sensor in and blow off valve if I decide to do that. We got the fuel system again right there hooked up, and we've got our air filter inlet. We got our blanket on the turbo. We got the downpipe wrapped, and so now we need to put in the map sensor. I've already changed the end, soldered the new end on it, but the hole on this style of an intake is too small for the ZR1 map, so I've got to, I hope I don't have to pull the intake off to get in there and to make that hole bigger to fit the ZR1 map, but hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But so map sensor, inlet air temp sensor, and we should be ready to fire it up after I flash the tune. Here's this turned out really good, just a 90 down to the intercooler, so that laid out really good. So that blue boot is actually off the intercooler, Duramax intercooler, and it worked out really well. A downpipe, and then so I do double heat sleeves on there to protect it by the manifold side, and then to protect it against the downpipe there. So try to get it as far away from the plug wires, and it's a lot easier to route a 3-inch downpipe anyway. So I got the one connection right there for the expansion tank, and I got to hook up, and I do have to put the fuel pump in, but I would have it running by now, but all my parts and stuff were coming in for Little Red, so I was working between the two. So I'll do another video on Little Red. It's really looking good and almost finished with it. But this thing's coming right along. Hopefully have it running today or tomorrow or something, I hope, depending on how everything else goes with it. But, you know, hot side's done, cold side's done. Just, you know, a couple sensors and we should be ready to go.